It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon to celebrate the accomplishments of some of our most outstanding faculty. We often talk at Arkansas State about being a destination university. We couldn't do that without an absolutely outstanding faculty, and we believe that a major university begins with its faculty. So today's ceremony is a snapshot of ongoing achievements in teaching, research, advising, and scholarship. As I say at commencement, and when I say this, I look around, I know you're all paying attention at commencement when I say this. The faculty of any university largely determines the quality of the education that's provided to students. Faculty are the heart and soul of the university. They are the heart and soul of what I like to call our learning community. A good teacher, it was once said, is very costly, but bad teachers cost more. And again, from my work and the stories that I get to hear, I know we have outstanding teachers at this university. So on behalf of our current students and our alumni, I want to thank each of you for what you have done for all of these students. The value of your service and mentoring for our students is reflected in the comments we hear from them. And I know that you inspire them. Horace Mann once said, "A teacher who teaches without inspiring the pupil to learn and to love learning is hammering on cold iron." So I hear not only stories about what they learn, but how you inspired their curiosity and inspired them to be lifelong learners. Now we're also gathering, and I think the provost has already given part of this speech, but we're also gathering to salute our retiring faculty members, individuals who have touched thousands of lives throughout their careers at Arkansas State. There are 21 retiring faculty with more than 500 combined years of service. When I first saw that, I thought that was only Bill Humphreys, but apparently it's everybody. Many of our retirees have more than 10 years of continuous service and will be rewarded with emeritus certificates. So now we're going to have these folks introduced by their respective college representatives. So I'll call on Bud Kennedy from Agriculture and Technology to start the proceedings. Bud?
Make sure I have the right script. Thank you, Dr. Hudson. I appreciate the introduction. It's my pleasure to come today and recognize Dr. William D. Bill Humphrey for 26 years of service at Arkansas State University. Dr. Humphrey was born and raised on a farm in New Mexico. He received a BS and an MS in animal science from New Mexico State University and a PhD in animal science from the University of Wyoming. His graduate training and research focus was in reproductive physiology of cattle and sheep. Before coming to Arkansas State, Dr. Humphrey was a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Saskatchewan from 77 to 79, assistant professor at Mississippi State University, 79 to 82, director of the Texas Agriculture Experiment Station in Beeville, Texas, 82 to 84, and self-employed as a farmer and livestock consultant in Los Lunas, New Mexico from 84 to 88. In July of 1988, Dr. Humphrey began his career at Arkansas State as an associate professor in the College of Agriculture. He was promoted to full professor in 1993. Dr. Humphrey has taught a variety of undergraduate and graduate courses. His formal academic training plus his vast practical knowledge and experience has made him a very effective teacher. His courses have consistently received high ratings from students. Dr. Humphrey has been an advisor for several student organizations, and over the years he has advised and mentored hundreds of students, many who continued their education and earned graduate degrees and professional degrees in veterinary medicine. He has an open door policy for students, and it's rare not to find at least one student in his office either seeking advice or just dropping in for a visit. Dr. Humphrey has a history of exemplary service in the university. He has served on 17 different university and college committees. Several of these committees he served as chair for a period of time. He served as chair in the URPCT from 2001 to 2002. He chaired the University Handbook Committee from 2002 to 2007. During this time, he championed the interest of the faculty and provided leadership needed to complete the painstaking process of overhauling the faculty handbook. I was for about 17 years, my office was across the hall from him, and I remember him working tirelessly revising that faculty handbook, hunting and pecking at his computer. In fact, I was talking to Dr. Teague, and she said she thinks he learned how to type revising that handbook. But I think we have a pretty good handbook because of Dr. Humphrey and his efforts. But long-term, he's also a long-term faculty senator, served as faculty senate vice chair in 2003 and faculty senate chair and president faculty association 2004 to 2005. He served 17 years as a county representative for the Arkansas Cattlemen's Association State Board. Since 1989, Bill has served as a Craighead County Farm Bureau board member. He is a long-term board member of the Buffalo Island Junior Livestock Show Board and served as president from 1991 to 95. Over the years, he served the cattle industry in the state by conducting numerous bull fertility testing and pregnancy diagnosis clinics. That's in cows. He also used his expertise internationally to advance agriculture in Mexico, Thailand, Zambia, and Brazil. Bill will have plenty to do to keep him busy in his retirement because he loves to work with his hands. He told me he had several old vehicles, including the 1970 Ford Bronco, which he drove for many, many years. I don't know if you remember that yellow Bronco. He picked me up at the airport when I came for the job interview and that. And it had a broken gas gauge, and sometimes Bill would arrive at work a little late, smelling like gas, and you know what happened. He'd run out of gas. So he forgot to check it with his stick, I guess. But anyway, I think Bill will continue to help people tile their kitchen floors, put roofs on their houses, build barns, and work cattle. He will probably continue to repair bicycles and give to children who can't afford a bicycle. And he also says he plans to travel, spend quality and quantity time with his wife Kathy, his two sons Landon and Gary and their families, and is especially looking forward to spending more time with his grandson Braxton. Dr. Bill, you will be missed, and I hope you have a long and fulfilling retirement. Congratulations.
My name is Jim Washam. I'm interim dean of the College of Business, and I get to talk a little bit about three of our retirees today. The first one is Dr. Clint Relier. Dr. Relier is an associate professor of management, and he's provided 14 years of service to the College of Business and Arkansas State University. Clint was the driving force behind the growth of our international business program. That program over the past several years under his guidance just blossomed and grew faster than any program that we've had in quite a while. And one of the things you noticed about Clint, he believes strongly in opening students' eyes to the world around them. He wanted to take students out to see other cultures. He was the first person to welcome international students that came to our campus, our college. And for many students, he either took them on or arranged their first trip outside of the United States. So there are many students who had their eyes opened to those other cultures through his work. He was also one who was not only concerned about connecting cultures, but also helping people in other places. He spearheaded a project in Ecuador to provide clean water to a village that we partnered with over the years. He's taken many students there during spring break trips to help with that project. Clint's not with us today. He is actually in France, I believe, today, being international and all. But we wanted to recognize his service anyway. Our second retiree is Miss Becky Carr. There's Becky. I knew she was over that way. Becky is an instructor in accounting. Actually, I think her thing says real estate and accounting. We'll explain that in a minute. And she has a total of 26 years of service to the College of Business once you add it all up. Lately, she's been focusing on teaching accounting and serving as advisor for Beta Gamma Sigma. Beta Gamma Sigma is basically the highest honor society we have in colleges of business in the world for the most part, because it's only available to AACSB accredited schools. She's been the backbone of that organization for several years and has worked tirelessly to make sure that everything worked well with that organization over the past few years. And one thing, like I said, her name beside it may have instructor in accounting and real estate or real estate and accounting. And part of that's because she's taught a variety of subjects within the college. Right now, she's teaching accounting, and she's been focusing on accounting for a few years. But in the past, she's taught a lot of different things because she's always been ready and willing to help. She was consistently available to fill in the gaps in the schedule, whether it was accounting, real estate, statistics. She's probably taught a section of just about everything over the years. She's been a great help to our college, and like I said, has always been first in line to help. Her first and foremost concern has always been her students. She's a dedicated teacher, and she puts student learning first. I see her concern for her students inside and outside of the classroom. Like I said, she works hard on her classes, she works with her students, she knows where students are at in class so she can help them out. Every now and then you get a call, and I would get a call and say, well, can we have the Delta Center open on Sunday? I'm having a review group, because there might be an exam on Monday. But we sincerely appreciate her dedicated service to our students in college. Over the years, she's demonstrated an exceptional level of commitment to the education of our students in the College of Business, and it just won't seem the same without her in the hallways in our classrooms. Thank you, Becky. Our third retiree in the College of Business is Dr. Gary Latonich. Dr. Latonich joined the College of Business in 1981 and has provided 33 years of outstanding service to our college. Right now, he serves as Professor of Economics and Director of the Center for Economic Education. Before he returned to the faculty, Gary was Assistant Dean of the College of Business and MBA Director. He's been here long enough to have held lots of titles and done lots of things. He served the professional community as president of the Missouri Valley Economics Association, and he was a member of the Governor's Council of Economic Advisors during the Clinton administration. In addition to teaching, Gary's conducted applied research for organizations including the Army Corps of Engineers and the Economic Development Administration. Gary's always been there for our students. He's one of the ones that if he hears a student in the hallway that needs something, he gathers them up and takes them and tries to fix it. I heard about that this morning. Somebody said there was a student in one of the offices this morning that was thinking about changing their major, and he said, just come with me. I assume they changed it the right way. Okay. So I hope he didn't encourage them to change it a different way. But he's always ready to advise our students, always ready to answer questions, and he's served as both a formal and informal mentor for several of our faculty members. He serves as a teaching mentor for several faculty members. He's always willing to help. His concern for our students, our faculty members, our college, the department, and our programs has been evident at every turn. He said he's been a formal mentor in a lot of ways, an informal mentor. Sometimes he doesn't know he's a mentor, but I've had the privilege of watching him for several years. And personally, I've always admired the way his concern for students, his concern for our college, and most of all, his community, friends, and family. The other day at the Economic Outlook lunch, I said when I grow up, I want to be Gary Latonich, so I'm still working on it. Congratulations, Gary.
My name is Tilaso Kumar. I'm the Dean of the College of Education and Behavioral Science. I think we have 4 people retiring from the college this year. The first person is Dr. David Cox. When he handed me his resignation letter, he actually framed it and gave it to me, and then he proceeded to tell me how I could do the speech. So there were some guidelines that I had to follow. One, I could not tell a joke. I could not be funny, which I'm not sure why he thought I was going to be. And the third one was that I could not do anything to embarrass him or myself because Dr. Cooksey would fire me. So here goes. This will be a very boring speech here. I have known David Cox for 2 years now, and over that time we have become very good friends. He's been a great colleague and a wonderful mentor to me. He has taught me many lessons over the past 2 years about leadership and relationships. Unfortunately for him, I am not the best student, but you cannot hold that against his teaching. David has chaired over 110 dissertations at Ole Miss and at A-State combined over the years, and he has won numerous teaching awards throughout his career. His legacy, though, will be about the people's lives that he has touched and the people that he has mentored and helped throughout their dissertation process. As we have taught classes this year together, I've had many students come and ask to convince him to stay because they wanted his guidance and mentorship through the dissertation process, and you will be surely missed by them. As a new dean who's still learning about the job, I am forever grateful for the time he has taken to mentor me and for being there when things got rough. Life won't be the same at A-State without the gentle, thoughtful soul who's genuinely and passionately cared about his students and program. I will miss my friend and colleague, but I'm sure he'll continue to text me at 3 a.m. in the morning to banter about anything and everything because he's walking his dog or he just can't sleep. So I wish you well in your retirement, David. I'm sure that you will keep me in line, just like Dr. Cooksey asked you earlier today from afar. So if you want to come on up.
You did good. You did good. You did good. Thank you, Julie.
Now I gotta get a hug. It's bittersweet. You could ask.
It's lifelong learning, Dr. Hudson, so I'm still working up from the seat that you gave me. Next is his partner in crime, Dr. George Foldesy. They both came to A-State around the same time. Dr. Foldesy got his PhD from the University of Nebraska and worked at North Dakota State University and the University of Nebraska before coming here. In 1992, Dr. Foldesy was hired to start the first doctoral program at A-State, and that has opened doors for other doctoral programs here. His program was innovative, using a cohort model in every sense of the word, helping us graduate 141 doctoral students in the Educational Leadership Program. What I think people will most remember about George is his wicked sense of humor and the way he lifted up a meeting or a spirit in a room, and his strong advocacy for faculty. He pushed hard for faculty roles in all areas of academics, and he still does that today in my office. We are losing a valid colleague and a great teacher, and we wish him the best on his future endeavors, which apparently is fishing and sailing. He's not, unfortunately not here today. So. Now, ever since I've been here, Dr. John Hall has been an advocate and a huge fan of Lynn Howerton, and he wanted the honor to do his retirement speech, so I'm going to turn it over to John.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Have you ever noticed how tall Lynn Howerton is? Have you ever wondered if he played basketball? This is probably something that you don't know. He rejected a basketball scholarship at LSU, and had he taken that, he could have played with Pistol Pete Maravich. That would have been his teammate. He did accept an NCAA basketball scholarship to Southern Illinois University, and he did play with Walt the Clyde Frazier. In the 1980s, when he could no longer jump, he made the ASU basketball team, faculty team. So, Lynn, we're actually fortunate you became a psychologist and a psychology professor rather than going into the MBA. So, on a serious note, Dr. Lynn Howerton earned his PhD in general experimental psychology in 1974 from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale. He accepted his faculty position as assistant professor of psychology at ASU in the fall of '74. He worked his way up the academic ladder, earned tenure, became a professor of psychology in 1989. In July of 1990, he became acting department chair, and in '91, department chair. He served in that role for 13 years until 2004, when he returned to full-time teaching in the department. He's credited for his leadership in helping build and maintain a strong Department of Psychology and Counseling, which consisted of 4 degree programs, 3 of those nationally accredited. Dr. Howerton's honors and awards are numerous. Most significant was the ASU University Award for Excellence in Teaching in 1985. His professional affiliations and offices are numerous and include the American Psychological Society and the Mid-South Educational Research Association. With that group, he served as longtime editor for the publication The Researcher. He's taught many courses over his tenure, 12 in number, that include Intro to Psychology, Educational Psychology, Learning Processes, Contemporary Psychology, Physiological Psychology, Statistics at both the undergrad and graduate levels, Experimental Psychology, History of Psychology, Child Psychology, Developmental Psychology, and Human Research. Very notably, he developed 2 of these courses and actually established the first undergraduate psychology laboratory, which, believe it or not, was housed in a 12 by 16 metal trailer on campus. He's also the founding faculty advisor for the ASU chapter of Psychi, the National Honor Society in Psychology. He's been involved in several important funded grants, including 2 that have focused on violence prevention. His scholarly presentations and publications are many, and they range from a co-authored book on descriptive statistics with Dr. John Inger to peer-reviewed articles on psychological and educational testing, locus of control, behavioral management, teaching of psychology, and reinforcement schedules, to mention a few. Lynn is over the top in terms of professional and community service. He served on an untold number of university, college, and department committees and task forces and faculty searches. There's no way I can do him justice in this category. He's contributed significantly through his work on the University Planning Committee and the Faculty Senate. His strong quantitative skills and keen understanding of university budgetary and financial matters have served the faculty well, and actually sometimes created cognitive dissonance for administrators. On a personal note, Dr. Howerton served as my mentor. I was most fortunate to have him as a major professor for statistics, experimental psychology, and physiological psychology. He was demanding but always fair, extremely knowledgeable, and very professional. As a graduate student, I served as his GA, where I assisted him in his operant conditioning lab. Even though I was somewhat fearful of rats, he helped me overcome that. Although he was not assigned my academic advisor, he took me under his wing and provided me with the advice and direction that I needed at a critical time when I was seeking admission to doctoral programs in applied psychology. Nothing replaces the face-to-face interaction that I've had with him during these formative years, but my story is not atypical or unusual. He has done that for so many students. In 1991, I applied for my first faculty post at ASU and was fortunately hired. Lynn served as my first department chair. I've had the opportunity now to work with him as a close colleague for 24 years. It's been a great ride, Lynn. I've learned so much from these travels, and you could say I've come full circle with Dr. Howerton. In closing, in 2009, during the centennial celebration, we celebrated the first 100 distinguished faculty. Dr. Eugene Smith, past president, was the keynote speaker at that event, and he described ASU as a beautiful, extensive tapestry consisting of many colorful threads. He saw it as a work in progress. Lynn, as you leave ASU this year, you alone add a shiny gold thread to this tapestry. Thank you for all you have done for your colleagues, the department, the college, the university, and our students. You will be greatly missed. Finally, best wishes to you in your retirement, to your sons and their families, and very importantly to Levita, that girl that you first took to the high school prom some 50 years ago.
The last person is Dr. Ann Ross. Ann Ross was a high school science teacher at Westside High School before she joined ASU in 1994 in the chemistry department. In 2001, she joined the School of Teacher Education and Leadership as an assistant professor. Over the years, Dr. Ross has served on numerous departmental, college, and university committees, where she provided leadership in course, program, and school partnership development. During her tenure here, she has been a co-PI for 2 National Science Foundation grants totaling over $2 million, where over 100 students have, over the years, have come to our science summer camp. She additionally has helped secure grants to assist teachers in environmental education, instructional development, and creative teaching. This past year, she was very instrumental in helping us create the new science and math teaching lab for elementary and middle level students in the School of Teacher Education and Leadership. I just wish that she would stick around for one more year so that she could actually use the lab. I hope that you do come back for the grand opening because you were the reason behind it. And I thank you for that. She's a dedicated and compassionate teacher who's willing to go the extra mile for students and also to mentor our new faculty in getting tenure and promotion. She will surely be missed by students and faculty, and I appreciate all you've done for our college. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm David Beasley, Dean of Engineering, and I'd like to talk to you this afternoon about Dr. Tom Parsons. Tom is retiring after 30 years in civil engineering. He started with us after 4 years with NIOSH, the National Institute of Safety and Health, where he was doing construction research after having finished his PhD at West Virginia University. Prior to that, he had gotten his bachelor's and master's degree at Youngstown State in civil engineering. Tom has been involved with our ASCE students since he got here. You all may remember about 3 years ago, we were yelling and jumping up and down and beating our chests because we had just won the Deep South competition against LSU, Mississippi State, Memphis, Ole Miss, Louisiana Tech, Memphis. I mean, we beat a whole bunch of a lot bigger schools in what's known as the Steel Bridge, Concrete Canoe, civil engineering games. Well, we did it again this year. That's 2 out of the last 4 years. Tom has built an unbelievable esprit de corps among the civil engineering students. They absolutely love to get involved in these competitions and prove themselves to the other guys. So in a month, Tom will be taking our bridge team to Akron, Ohio, near Youngstown, and we will be competing in the national competition. Incidentally, our bridge was the only one that really survived the competition in Memphis earlier this month. If you all have gone to a restaurant or other buildings downtown, after downtown Jonesboro got revitalized, most of those changes that you've seen with balconies and decks and so forth, and buildings that are now seismically safe, that's Tom Parsons. If you look at the people who have served on committees, I'm not even going to start naming committees on this campus. He's been on just about every one of them. He has worked with industry unbelievably. Most of the people that have anything to do with concrete in this state have been certified by Tom Parsons. He works with the steel people. He loves to work in structures, both concrete as well as steel. We are going to miss him unbelievably. He's been a pretty good director of civil engineering too, but I think what sets Tom apart is his work with the students, and particularly with our student branch. So Tom, thank you.
I am Laurie Umansky, Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, and shorter than anyone else, so I have to adjust the microphone. I am presenting 4 people today who are retiring. You've already heard a little bit about Sam Januso, so I'm going to say a lot more about Sam Januso. In the fall of 1963, World War II veteran, Navy veteran Sam Januso arrived on campus of then Arkansas State College. It was a time when everyone knew everyone across all departments and colleges. Well, it wasn't long before Sam made his presence known. He taught almost every English course that was offered. In the next 51 years, as they passed, numerous Arkansas State University presidents allowed Sam to show his versatility and devotion to Arkansas State. Among the many committees he chaired were English Composition, the Arrow Literary Magazine, English Proficiency Exam, University Credits and Credentials, University Admissions, and he spent 30-plus years chairing the Faculty Athletic Committee. Sam also served as the interim athletic director in 1975 when the football team went undefeated. He served 2 terms as president of the Southland Athletic Conference and held offices in the American South, the Big West, and the Sun Belt conferences. He was the voice of the Indians, announcing home games for 35 years. Sam received the Letterman's Club Award for Distinguished Service. He helped bring the Kappa Alpha Fraternity chapter to A-State and is still its faculty advisor. Sam also is advisor for Phi Eta Sigma, a National Honorary Society for Freshmen, and many advisor awards hang on his office walls, along with many other plaques that outline his contributions to what he now proudly calls Arkansas State University. Sam. Congratulations, young man. Well, that's a tough one to follow. Next, I'd like to speak about Jean Harris. Jean Harris earned her bachelor's and master's degrees at Colorado State University and her doctorate in composition from Texas Christian University in 1986. She joined the Department of English and Philosophy in August '86 and served as director of composition for 4 years. In her 28 years as a faculty member, Dr. Harris's teaching, service, and professional activities have focused on writing. She taught freshman composition every semester, served on composition committees, and as a judge for writing contests, and she published 2 novels, as well as other creative and scholarly work. Jean Harris. Okay, third and penultimate, certainly never last, Professor Clyde A. Milner II came to A-State as the first permanent director of the Heritage Studies PhD program in 2002. Dr. Milner is the author or editor of 8 books and numerous essays. He completed his undergraduate work at the University of North Carolina and earned his graduate degrees from Yale. For 26 years, he held a faculty position in history at Utah State University, where he rose from the rank of instructor to full professor and also edited the Western Historical Quarterly. At A-State, Dr. Milner takes great pride in the 24 students who have completed their doctoral degrees in Heritage Studies, the 35 students who are currently in the program, and the faculty members who are helping to create Heritage Studies professionals. Dr. Milner expects to retire to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where he will serve as a reader for the History Book Club and continue his research and writing on the American West. Okay, and finally from our college, although she's not with us here today, I'd like to say a few words about Dr. Victoria Spaniel, who taught German and English in the public schools before earning a master's degree in 1984 and a doctorate from University of Southwestern Louisiana, 1990. She joined the Department of English and Philosophy as an assistant professor in 1992, having taught as an instructor while finishing graduate work. Dr. Spaniel taught 19th century British literature, undergraduate and graduate classes, introductory courses for English majors, and gen ed classes. Dr. Spaniel was a teacher's teacher, literally and figuratively. She supervised BSE interns, taught classes in how to teach literature in the schools, and inspired her students to meet high standards. Vicki Spaniel. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Hanrahan, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Professions. Dick Freer, come on up. Dick is retiring after 20 years on the social work faculty, with time spent in both the College of Arts and Sciences and in the College of Nursing and Health Professions. He got his BA degree from Anderson University, his MSW from Michigan State, and his PhD in social welfare from Case Western University. He started his academic career at Lyon College as the interim program director in 1988 and came to ASU in 1994. He filled a position vacated by Al Presley, who still lives in Jonesboro, which was temporarily held by Donna Parker. Did you know that? Who is still on faculty today. He earned tenure in 1999 and became associate professor the following year. Of course, he's a licensed social worker, but he's also a certified family mediator. He has done an array of presentations and publications with some contract work. He conducted site visits and established findings for the Transitional Employment Assistance Program. Do you remember the Tea Coalition? Not to be confused with the Tea Party. He took compensated leave in 2004 to do a study in Craighead County on the coordination of services to children at risk due to abuse and neglect. He also worked in areas like interdisciplinary approaches to infant and early childhood mental health, children of incarcerated parents, implications for DCFS workers, helping children in foster care, youth suicide prevention, and I know he even collected data on the homeless population here in Jonesboro and so much more. You get the idea. Special work for very select and special populations. While at ASU, he has done too many things to mention, but here are a few. He was very instrumental in getting the BSW program moved to the College of Nursing and Health Professions, and I'm thankful for that, and the subsequent development of the MSW program, and he served as its director for a period of time. He has been the PI for the Title IV Child Welfare Grant since 2009. That grant averages about $500,000 a year to the university. He was named Outstanding ASU Faculty Academic Advisor in 2009. He received a Lifetime Achievement Award presented by the Arkansas chapter of the National Association of Social Work in 2008. That's their highest award. And he also was the Social Worker of the Year by that same group in 2001. He received the ASU Board of Trustees Faculty Award for Professional Service in 2007 and also received the College Award that year. Dick would be my college role model for service. And that's kind of been a theme today, it sounds like. He's done service to his profession at the state and local level. He has served on just about every university committee. The same is true in the college and certainly true at the department level. Service learning is infused throughout his courses, and there's like a one single-spaced page of community service in his vita. So let me just mention a couple that are important to me. The Craighead County Community Foundation Board, the Emma Williams Center for Community Well-Being Board, the Court-Appointed Special Advocates Board, the Action for Kids Regional Advisory Board. He works with the Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families and our Kids Count Coalition when we had a board, and the Head Start Social Services Advisory Committee. A lot of you know, who have been around for a while, know Dick, and many, many people in the community and the state know him as well. He is not replaceable for sure, but he is certainly and has been impactful for ASU and our larger community. So our special thanks to Dick Freer. My second one is Lynn Hubbard, and she retired in December and is not here. She called me this morning and said, "Susan, I read in the paper that I'm getting honored today. Should I come?" And I said, "Well, not if it's in your daily activity plan," but she's not here. So let me just say a couple things about her. She began as a temporary instructor in Rad Tech in July of 1991. She got a contract the following year and was with us for 21 years. She got her Rad Tech degree from DeKalb College, Emory University Hospital in '73, and her BSc in Education in '92, and did get an MSc in Curriculum Instruction in 1995 from Arkansas State. When she came here, she became the clinical coordinator for our radiologic technology program, and she did that her entire career and did a fabulous job. She used to work at Emory University Hospital, and she was the chief rad tech for the breast cancer demonstration project in Atlanta from 1973 to 1975, and I think that kind of set the stage for her because she ended up getting credentials in mammography, and she did almost all of her grant work revolved around breast cancer. Lynn grew up in Selma, Alabama. Those who know Lynn know that accent very well, and she actually is going to retire to Fairhope, Alabama, where her daughter and grandchildren live. So our thanks to Lynn Hubbard.
Thank you. I'm John Pratt, Dean of the College of Sciences and Mathematics, and I'm here to honor Mr. Stan Wooldridge, who is retiring after 14 years of service. This is actually not Stan's first change in career. Stan actually has retired once from the U.S. Navy after 25 years as a senior instructor and training program coordinator in the Navy's technical training schools. He actually retired there in 1995 as a Master Chief Petty Officer, which is the highest enlisted rank in the U.S. Navy. He actually came here. He had enough coursework taking classes with the Navy that after he retired in 95, he came here and was able to quickly complete his bachelor's in science ed after 1 year. He started teaching in local schools, at the same time working his way through our master's degree program. And when he completed in 2000, we knew a good thing when we saw it, and we snapped him up and quickly hired him away from the schools. And since then, Stan has done a fabulous job. He's taught over 5,000 students. He has been integral to taking our mathematics courses online and has done a fabulous job in maintaining access to students, but with the requisite rigor that we sort of all expect. He's here today with his wife Sheila, and I'm sure that they are looking forward to spending quality time with the grandkids. So, Stan, come on forward.
Good afternoon. I'm Jill Simons, and I'm Dean of University College. I'm going to follow Susan's lead and bring Margaret up with me. You can join me this afternoon as we recognize Margaret. Margaret's fellow faculty members describe her as eloquent, witty, and always willing to share her thoughts. Margaret started at ASU in 1981 working in the Saudi Project and as an instructor in English. In 1989, Margaret joined University College and began what was called the PASS program. A similar program is now referred to as Student Support Services. Margaret teaches reading, writing, and student success courses for University College within first-year studies. Margaret is a native from Canada and is fluent in many languages. She uses her international background to work effectively with and on behalf of international students. Her commitment to the segment of students has been invaluable. Margaret supported faculty in understanding international students' needs, as well as assisting international students and serving as their advocate on campus. It is not unusual for us to show up in the building and find her there on Saturdays. I found that out when I used to let my children run free when I was there, and found that I couldn't do that anymore. During her time in University College, Margaret worked with several publishers, designed teacher editions, and other educational materials. Having dual citizenship, Margaret plans to divide her time between Jonesboro and with her mom in Canada. Thank you.
I get to raise the microphone back up. I'm Jeff Bailey. I'm the Director of Library and Information Services, and I have the pleasure of recognizing the final one of the stellar group of retirees that we're honoring today. Julia Dunlap joined the library in 1999, which doesn't seem like 15 years ago unless I stop and think about it. We were gearing up for Y2K and wondering if all our computer systems would still work in a few months. So I guess it really has been a while. But Julie is one of the librarians that most people on campus rarely see. During her 15 years at Arkansas State University, Julie has been a cataloger who has created thousands of descriptive records that are the backbone of the library catalogs that allow faculty and students to search and retrieve records for print and digital resources. Julia has undergraduate degrees from the Rochester Institute of Technology and Ouachita Baptist University, and completed her graduate work at the University of Texas at Austin. Before joining Arkansas State University, Julia held positions with the Hidalgo County Library System in McAllen, Texas, and the Texas Guaranteed Student Loan Corporation. Julia's specialty was cataloging and creating records for media materials, which is particularly notable because Julia has a hearing impairment and is unable to listen to the CDs, DVDs, and other materials that she's cataloged. During her years at A-State, keeping with this unannounced theme of service, Julia has been a strong advocate for the deaf community. Locally, she's volunteered time with disability services and participated in a number of campus workshops conducted by disability services to increase awareness of a variety of issues related to persons with disabilities. Among her professional activities, for a number of years, Julia was a member of the American Library Association's Library Services for the Deaf Forum, and also actively served on the Red Notebook Advisory Committee. For those of you outside the library field who may not know, the Red Notebook began in 1979 as a print resource that became the starting point for libraries of all types when looking for information regarding the deaf community and library services, and it's now in the process of transforming into the Deaf Cultural Digital Library. Julia, thank you for your years of service to the students, faculty, and staff of Arkansas State University, and we wish you the best in your retirement. Please come forward.
We have two more retirees that I would like to recognize this afternoon. Retiring from the College of Fine Arts is Mr. Roger Carlisle, Professor of Art. Roger joined the faculty as a temporary instructor in 1974, and then he moved into a tenure-track professor position in 1975. He's retiring after 40 years of service to Arkansas State. Over this time span, Roger has exhibited his work well over 100 state, regional, and national competitive and invitational exhibitions. And if you have been around campus, you've probably seen many of his works hanging in office walls and throughout the university. His painting of the old State House in Little Rock was commissioned by the United States Postal Service for the Arkansas Statehood stamp for the Arkansas Sesquicentennial in 1986. Roger has received commissions from the Postal Commemorative Society to design other collective series panels for the Washington, D.C. stamp, the Summer Olympics stamp, the 500th anniversary of Columbus landing in Puerto Rico stamp, and the 1995 Chinese New Year stamp. In 2003, Roger was commissioned by the Central Delta Historical Society of Brinkley to conceptualize, design, compose, and paint a mural measuring 8 feet tall by 24 feet long. The mural, entitled Baseline in Louisiana Purchase State Park, celebrates the 200th anniversary of the Louisiana Purchase. Roger could not be with us this afternoon, but we applaud him for 40 years of dedicated service to Arkansas State. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. David Beasley, Dean of College of Engineering, to please come forward. Dr. David Beasley has served as Dean of the College of Engineering for the past 5 years and will be retiring at the end of June. Some remarkable things have happened in the College of Engineering under his leadership. I don't know of many deans who have been able to basically increase their faculty and related positions in a college by 40%. He has done this during his time with us, and so during this time of bringing in a 40% increase in faculty lines, he's brought in some very promising and very talented researchers. These faculty are making some major contributions, as you witnessed earlier today with Dr. Hussein's award. So we thank you for building on the faculty foundation, which is in the College of Engineering. He has also taken what was once a general engineering program that had emphases in civil engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering with an accreditation that basically gave our students an accredited general engineering degree. He has led the charge to receive ABET accreditation for each of those programs individually. So we now have individually accredited mechanical, civil, and electrical engineering programs, which is quite a feat. And it makes those degree programs so much more marketable for our students, and so we appreciate his leadership for that. He also brought the College of Engineering into a new era with its graduate programs. 2 new graduate programs were founded during his time. One was a management and engineering degree, which I think is beginning to take in quite a few students as our engineering students who have left ASU, our alum and other engineers in the community are looking for leadership roles, and so they've come into this program. And also, as he brought in new faculty with strong backgrounds in research, we have a master's degree in engineering that is a research-based program that we're very proud of as well. So I want to personally thank Dr. Beasley for the many things that he's done for the College of Engineering, for his strong leadership, and I want to wish him the best as he begins a new chapter in his life. And so I would ask for a round of applause for his leadership. What a wonderful afternoon it's been. A lot of memories, a lot of reminiscing about good things, and now unfortunately it must come to an end. So we have now concluded our award ceremony for the day, and I ask for one big round of applause to honor not only our award recipients today, but also our retiring faculty. Thanks. Thank you for being here today.